So this is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. So happy to be joined today by Larry Zoll, who is President, North America with LED Studio. Topic of conversation is, of course, InfoComm 2025. All of us are very excited. It's almost here, really the biggest North American commercial AV gathering of the season, and we're here for it. We wanted to invite LED Studio on to talk about what it is most excited about when people come to booth 623 in Orlando this year to check out all their latest. Thank you so much, Larry, for joining me and giving us kind of a sneak preview about what everyone's going to be looking forward to seeing in Orlando this year.
Thanks for having us. We're really excited.
Absolutely. So why don't we start with trends, if you don't mind? As we approach InfoComm 2025, what trends would you say you're seeing in the Pro AV space, and how is LED Studio responding to them, leaning into them?
Well, LED Studio really focuses on cutting edge product and being at the top of the curve. So we're seeing a lot of sustainability initiatives. We're seeing a lot more entrance into the COB and heading into the MIP marketplace. There's a lot of exciting interior trends and narrow pitch exterior trends.
When you think about InfoComm, you're thinking about a show that really highlights cutting edge of innovation. And as you say, LED Studio really does sit kind of at the cutting edge of innovation. So what products or solutions are you most proud of? What do you think best exemplifies that cutting edge innovative approach that is really interwound in your DNA?
Well, we've been really focusing on COB product for a couple of years now on the interior side of things, and we're very proud of the amount of COB product that we've really been able to install over the last couple of years. We continue to see that grow substantially. It's really become a very dominant product for us. From an exterior perspective, we are moving more and more towards narrow pitch exterior displays. Our Clearview product line goes down to 1.2 millimeter outdoor, and we continue to grow our capability from a fine pitch outdoor product all the way through our 10 millimeter and above standard outdoor product.
Well, that fine pitch product is something I always love seeing when I go to a show like InfoComm. Even as someone who's been to, I think this will be my 21st InfoComm, I
Wow.
still get dazzled by the visual eye candy of technology, LED displays. So I can't wait to check out the booth. But we also know networking is a huge part of InfoComm. So I'm interested in you giving us maybe a sneak peek what LED Studios, how you're going to be connecting with the industry outside the exhibit hall. The exhibit hall is going to be fantastic, but what are you going to do on a networking perspective or outside the exhibit hall confines?
Sure. Yeah, we're also very excited about the show itself. We're coming in with a huge booth this year that's going to have a ton of really exciting product and a lot of new product as well. But outside of the show, we're hosting a big party on the first night of the show on the 11th at the Sports and Social at Point Orlando, which is right down the street from the convention center, which is fantastic. We put in, speaking of COB, put in a huge COB display in that space last year. It's a great sports bar that's been there for about a year now, and we're really excited to host a nice industry event this year.
Sounds like it's going to be the place to be that night. Thank you so much for letting our audience know about it. Just to turn briefly to sustainability, we talked at the outset about trends. It seems like a lot of folks these days are talking about sustainability, both in the vendor community, among integrators, certainly among end users and clients. How is the focus on sustainability shaping your technology and your business practices more broadly this year and beyond?
Sustainability has been a focus of ours for a long time. It's just as important for cost savings and financial purposes and business purposes as it is for, the more altruistic purpose of helping out the environment, right? This year at ISE, and we're showing it here at InfoComm, we're really excited to introduce the Eclipse technology that we've started working into a number of our product lines. And what Eclipse does is it essentially cuts standby power down to zero on LED product. It's a long-standing understanding that LED does not like to be hard shut down at the end of every night. Most locations that have LED displays, even if they turn them off, quote unquote, at the end of a day, don't completely cut power to them. They run black content, and because of that, there's still some level of trickle power that goes through the displays. Eclipse essentially cuts all of that trickle power out. And even though you're not fully shutting down the displays, which means you're protecting all of the components, all of the ICs, all of the diodes, everything in between, you're still eliminating all of the trickle power that goes out to the display. So it's really the best of both worlds. You're able to protect your components, protect your investment, and still at the same time make sure that you're doing it in the most sustainable way possible to really save yourself money, save operating costs, and save the electricity.
Is a great approach. As you say, it protects the display itself, but at the same time, you're not wasting all this power, wasting all this electricity if you don't need to. So that's a really nice differentiator. Thank you so much, Larry, for sharing that.
Yeah,
As we
it's
begin to wrap up the interview, just a couple of last points. I'd like to know what integrators and partners can expect to see from LED Studio at InfoComm to continue to demonstrate innovation, future readiness, all those kind of core assets that lie at the foundation of LED Studio.
That's a great question. We are an engineering-led company. We pride ourselves on staying at that peak of cutting-edge technology. We work very hard to work with our partners to make sure that they have access to all of the latest technology, all of the latest display components that are coming out. And when necessary, working with them to make sure that when they have requirements for custom products, for bespoke projects, that we're there to support them from the product specification all the way through the life cycle of the whole product.
Well, thank you so much, Larry. I really appreciate you sharing some insights about what you're going to be showcasing at InfoComm, the positive differentiators that, again, are kind of interwound in your DNA. That's commitment to sustainability and innovation, living at the cutting edge, and of course, the networking component as well, which is really critical to InfoComm's success. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing those insights with us.
Thanks for having me. We look forward to seeing you there.
I look forward to being there myself. Once again, thank you to Larry Zoll, who is President North America with LED Studio, whom you can find at booth 623 at InfoComm this year. Again, booth 623. My name is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. Please do keep your eyes on commercialintegrator.com in the days and weeks leading up to InfoComm, during the show, and after the show for more exciting thought leadership content, product news, and trends analysis from our industry's leading suppliers like LED Studio. We'll see you back here real soon.